95.
Just want you to love my Jesus. Gonna make you a true believer. Just want to modify your behavior. I just want you to love my Savior.
95.3 The Range, Parker Millsap off the self-titled CD, came out in 2014. That is Truck Stop Gospel. And we just happen to have Parker Millsap live in studio this morning. Man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's great. I'm great. It's great to meet you, man, because we've been trying to hook up for probably 3, maybe 4 years.
4 years now.
Yeah. So I'm glad to finally get you in studio.
I'm glad to be here.
I got to tell you a story. 2014, which was the year that you were nominated for Emerging Artist of the Year at the Americana Awards. I was upstairs at the Mercy Lounge, and I knew when I saw you, that's the first time I ever saw you play. We'd played your music, and there was a unique sound to your voice. That Truck Stop Gospel, first song we ever played off that album, because that came out February of that year.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so I'm there at the Americana Awards, and somebody says, man, you got to come upstairs and see Parker Millsap. I said, sure, we're playing his music. You could not move in that room. And then you were wearing a striped shirt, pretty much like you're wearing today. And it was one of these moments. It's kind of, I almost want to say, a magical moment when something special is happening, because you were singing, and instead of talking, people were actually listening. And it was a packed room where a whisper is loud.
Yeah, and in Nashville where people are,
jaded.
They see music all the time.
Yeah, so I've got to say, man, it's a pleasure to finally get to meet you and to have you on the show, because we've been wanting to do this for a long, long time. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for playing me for so long.
Well,
I really appreciate it.
We love, and then 2016 you were nominated for Album of the Year.
Yeah.
For Very Last Day, which was, man, such a killer follow-up.
Thanks, man.
Killer follow-up. And then now, just this past Friday, you've released other arrangements.
Yeah.
And
more songs.
More songs. But in that time, you've done so many things. You've been on the Conan O'Brien show.
Yeah.
You've been nominated for all these awards. You got to play with Elton John. Elton John is a fan of yours.
John,
How surreal is that to find out
It's wild, man. He actually, on record release day on Friday, he called me. And anytime I get a random call from a Vegas number, I'm like, oh, this might be Elton John. I better answer. So I answered, and he's, hello, how you doing? And he was getting the record shipped from LA because the Vegas record store didn't have it or something like that. Yeah, it's surreal. Hanging out with him, you realize he just cares about music.
Yeah.
Music and the people close to him is what he really cares about. That's inspiring to me.
Did you ever think when you were growing up in Purcell, Oklahoma, that Elton John would have your phone number?
No, absolutely not. No.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's truly crazy.
Because you started picking up guitar at 9.
Yeah, I think my parents got me a guitar when I was 7, and after 2 years of me trying to figure it out on my own, they were like, okay, we're gonna pay somebody to teach this boy what to do. So I started taking lessons.
And you got into Eric Clapton.
Got into Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and just Rye Cooder, lots of blues music. My dad is a big blues fan, and because I played guitar, I was obviously drawn to it.
And it comes out in your voice too. I see these articles that say, Parker didn't know any better that a skinny white kid wasn't supposed to sound like this.
Well, I didn't listen to a lot of top 40 radio and stuff growing up, so I thought that people just sang Howlin' Wolf.
So besides those guys, who were some of your other influences?
I listened to a lot of Texas singer-songwriters like Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen and Townes Van Zandt and Clyde Clark. I listened to a lot of that growing up, and then a lot of Delta blues and Texas blues, ZZ Top and Stevie Ray and Jimmy Vaughan, all of it.
Growing up in the Texas Red Dirt era, does it astound you that the Texas Red Dirt stations aren't playing you, but the Americana stations are playing you. It's kind of crazy because you're one of our own. Texas Red Dirt stations should be playing you.
I gotta write a few more beer songs.
Is that what it is? Your songs are not beery enough for everybody?
Maybe.
Well, let's get you to do one right now.
Yeah, let's do it. This song's not about beer.
Okay. Dang.
This song's called Singing to Me. It's on the new record. Sometimes they won't be heard. Sometimes my mouth's absurd and wrong. Yes, I know. Sometimes I sink so low. Sometimes I shout to show I'm strong. But you've been singing to me all along. Singing to me all along. Kept on singing when everything went wrong. The road noise drowns out my old joys. Sometimes your golden voice gets lost. I hear what I'm missing. Your chorus is kissing back the frost. You've been singing to me all along. Singing to me all along. You kept on singing when everything went wrong. Singing to me all along. Singing to me all along. Kept on singing when everything went wrong. Still don't know what took me so long.
Wow. Parker Millsap live in the studio. And the crowd goes wild, absolutely. To me, that's kind of a litmus test of an artist when you can hear somebody singing acoustic. Well, it's not. It's electric, but it's
solo.
Yeah, it's solo. But it's one of those things, and I got goosebumps on that song.
I'm sorry.
You've got this soul that just comes through in your voice. It's so much older than you are. You're only 24, man. You're a kid. 25 now. Okay.
I'm getting up there.
Okay. You're only a quarter of a quarter of a century old.
Yeah.
Okay. So to have that much soul and emotion in your voice, man, you had to have some things happen in your life to have that.
No, nothing too bad.
Really?
Nothing too bad. I just, when I'm playing, I just try to not think about anything else. It's almost like I can't help but and try to inhabit the song. You know what I mean?
And maybe that's why people stop and listen.
I don't know.
Because you're so into it, they get into it.
Yeah, that's actually something I've learned playing live a lot over the past 5 years. It's like, if I'm having a good time, if I'm really giving what I know how to give, people appreciate it, and they'll have a good time, and they'll give it back.
Yeah. Well, the new album is called Other Arrangements, and there's a song on there I want to talk about. A song called Some People. Did you Did you have a bad experience with somebody like on 635 or 35? Is that what it is? Because you really are really anti guys with trucks in Texas. You specifically say
I'm okay with guys with trucks in Texas. I just don't like when somebody's got their big F-350 and they think that means they own the road.
Yeah.
You know what that's
like. I know it's like. Trust me, I know. I have this little bitty small car. Trust me, I know what it's like.
Yeah, and we spend so much time on the road in the van. You know, it's like to me the road's a sacred place where everybody should mind each other because people die out there every day. You know. And it's just funny being from Oklahoma. You know, I gotta give the Texans a little rib.
Well, you certainly do it with this song. Yeah.
And yeah, we just had once or twice right as we crossed the Texas border from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Somebody does something wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's just a little frustrated. Had to get it out.
I was surprised you didn't say anything about Lexuses not having blinkers that work, because that's something else that happens in Texas. If you have a Lexus, the blinker is not stock on the car.
They don't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
Like, we paid enough for this car. We can change that.
Exactly. I'm going to play one off the album, Fine Line. Lead us into this. Tell us a little story about this song.
Yeah, this song started with a guitar riff. A lot of the songs on this record kind of started with music more than lyrics, kind of backwards from where I used to write from. That was kind of intentional, but I just started playing this guitar riff, and it's dumb and simple and fun. And
it's kick-ass is what it is.
And so it was just I was playing that for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta finish it.
Well, let's do this, man, because this is 2.5 minutes of pure energy is what this is. I was surprised that this was the first one they sent out to Americana, but I loved it. I hopped on it right away.
I was kind of surprised too. We did like one of those. I didn't attend it because that's dangerous, but we did one of those like radio focus group things they have in Nashville. And this is the one that everybody responded to. So they're like, all right, well, we'll do that.
But it was different enough that it was like, okay, let's play this.
Yeah, it feels like something new. You know, compared to my earlier records, but it's not like completely out of the Americana wheelhouse. Yeah.
It feels like, to me, like everybody's getting into almost like a 70s kind of thing with some of their music these days. Because the Turnpike, their latest Something to Hold On To sounds like a classic rock band. Yeah. Some of the stuff on yours, very, very 70s influenced. As I said, Elton John and Beatle-esque on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I think like just people want to rock out. All the folkies are like, man, I grew up listening to AC/DC.
Yeah. Well, even Blackberry Smoke, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, AC/DC, I can say a little about it. This is more AC/DC meets Kiss, I would say.
Yes. Again, Kiss is like one of the bands people make fun of. Great songs.
Yeah.
Great songs.
If you go to my desk back there, I've got a Gene Simmons action figure, not a doll, action figure.
Does his tongue come out?
Yeah. He's got his bass guitar there. Yeah. Huge Kiss fan, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is just like the spittle part.
My electric fiddle solo.
This is where I say your fiddle player's so bad. This and Truck Stop Gospel, I mean, this fiddle player kicks ass.
And he's so... He can play so many different styles, like on the soft stuff he's doing classical, like,
It's crazy. Parker Millsap of Fine Line live in the RangeTrucks.com studios here on KHYI. And man, like we were talking about during the song, that just rocks, dude.
It's fun to play.
I called it a cross of Kiss and AC/DC.
And I don't take that as a dig at all. That's a high compliment.
It's a great song, and all these songs have some kind of influence on them. We talked before we went on air. We were talking earlier about you being friends now with Elton John. That last song you did for us, Singing to Me, I felt a little Elton in that song.
Yeah, you know what I really love about Elton is just the drama.
Yeah.
The drama within the songs. That's really what I love about songwriting is
Yeah.
those moments of high drama. Yeah.
Where's your muse? What is your muse when you're writing?
Man, it's everywhere. It's everything. I try to...
We know Trucks on 35. We know Trucks on 35 is one of them.
Yeah, just kind of everything. This record, a lot of it is just like being in a real relationship. You know, I've been with my gal like over 5 years
Wow.
now. You know, so it's like we're getting to the nitty gritty of it. I'm starting.
You gonna pop the question anytime?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Hey,
You might be listening.
If you want to bring her to the radio station and do it on the air, I'll help you with this if you want to do that
As long as we
sometime.
can stream it, so
Yeah,
video.
we'll live stream the whole thing, man. We'll do the whole thing.
Yeah, so a lot of the songs on this record are just about that, the various positions of being in a real relationship. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's scary, and
Yeah.
a lot of times it's bliss. You
Yeah.
know, and then there are times when it's just like taking out the trash.
You kind of take us on a whole journey when you do this, and I like this because a lot of people, you know, these days they're focused on singles. They're like, my album's going to have 4 singles come off the album, so I'm going to focus really heavy on those 4 songs, and then I'm going to throw some filler. You don't
Right.
do that.
Yeah, no, I really, records for me, you mentioned the Beatles earlier. One thing I really love is when a record has a wide variety of
Yeah.
like styles and emotions
Yeah.
that come with it. The Beatles are great at that. There are lots of bands that are great at that, but that's really what I'm looking for, is like an emotionally holistic, complete
Some
set of songs.
depth.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want people to dance, but if they cried a little bit, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some songs on Very Last Day that were like that. That were just like, oh wow, you know, because there was one on there, and I off the top of my head I can't think the song, but it's real slow, and you have that soulful whine in your voice that it just kind of draws you in. Yeah.
That was probably Heaven's.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly the song I was thinking
That's the
of.
sad one.
Yeah, my 15-year-old daughter loved that song.
Oh,
She
awesome.
said when she heard that song, she said, "He breaks my heart."
Sorry.
No, but she, I mean, for her, that's a compliment.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
absolutely. Like I love when my heart gets broken by music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. Let's get you to do one last
let's
song
do
before
it.
we head out of here this morning.
This is a song I wrote with my friend Gillette Johnson, who's actually open for us tonight at the Granada Theater. It's called "Come Back When You Can't Stay for So Long."
Great.
I was looking for a little thrill. Dinner, drinks, dessert, the bill. I've got another love to kill, and I'm losing. I thought you knew the circumstance. Yes, I know we laughed and danced. Sweetheart, please put on your pants and be moving. Come back when you can't stay for so long. Call me when you're on the run, when there's nothing on the TV on, and you wanna be home before dawn. Come back when you can't stay for so long. I was looking for a little love, pushing for a little shove. I wasn't dying for a dove to give a diamond. Why'd you have to go and stay? Wrap me in your arms and sway. Wake before the bells of day would chime. Come back when you can't stay for so long. Call me when you're on the run, when there's nothing on the TV on, when you wanna be home before dawn. Come back when you can. for so long.
Parker Millsap. The album is called Other Arrangements. It just came out Friday, and as I said, man, it's a great album. It really is. I've had my copy for a couple of weeks, and I've just it's been the constant in my CD player in my car.
That's great. That's my favorite thing that people tell me is when they listen to the record on the way to work. And
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Very Last Day stayed in my CD player for 3 months. Seriously, that was my wife and daughter heard it so often in the CD player in the car. They said, "Can we play something else?" I was like, "This is so good. Why would you want to?" Seriously.
Well, that's why we got you a new one.
Yeah. Well, now they listen to this one.
Daughter, you're welcome.
Parker Millsap, man, pleasure to get to meet you, man.
Yeah, thanks so much. Everybody out there listening, come see us at the Granada tonight.
All right. Parker Millsap, and the album's called Other Arrangements. Go see it.
Thanks so much, man.
No problem, brother. Let me stop this stream and we'll get a picture real quick.
Bye.